Welcome back to another video. Long time no see. Today we are shooting on the DJI Osmo Nano and we're shooting in open gate. So you can simultaneously shoot for YouTube or social media. I guess it's not that much of a gimmick, huh? We'll see. Wow, it is insanely windy. I did not expect this, but I really like this location, so F it, we're just gonna do it. Today I want to talk to you guys about my experience shooting a film in a different country. So the country is Mexico, and to be specific, in the city of Querétaro. I'm gonna give you guys a backstory on how this came about, and then I'm gonna break down pre-production, production, and post-production. So let's get started.
Fun fact, Querétaro used to be the capital of Mexico.
How come it didn't stay that way?
Well, history moved it back to Mexico City.
So I've been traveling to Mexico a lot, and one of the cities that I really enjoy is named Querétaro. The first time I got there, I went to the downtown, which is called Centro Histórico. And when I got there, I was like, wow, this is such a lovely city. It looks romantic. People all walking around, holding hands and doing all kinds of cute stuff. And I was like, man, I feel the romantic vibes in the city. So then I thought to myself, I want to shoot a rom-com here. So I told my friend who lives there, who's from there actually, he said, let me get the paperwork, because we wanted to get permission from the city, you know, to use some of the locations. And then in a couple of months, that happened and we filmed in that city. So yeah, that's it, video over. All right, I'm just messing around. Let's start with pre-production. So originally the movie was supposed to be a 15-minute short film that I was gonna shoot with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, because that has been my main camera for like almost 2 years now. And I wanted to prove that this camera can make beautiful things. But when my friend went to go get the permit for the locations from the city, the people told them, wait, why don't you guys do a feature film? We would love to partner with you guys on a feature film that's gonna be talking about the city, showing the beauty that it has to offer. Because the script for the short film was that. It was a stranger who gets stranded in Querétaro and end up falling in love there. So then when my friend Hector told me that, I was like, well, I don't have resources here. I don't have a crew, so I don't know how I would pull off a feature film. The compromise was, you know what? We're gonna do a short film that's 30 minutes long to kind of like showcase what we can do. And then we're gonna turn it into a feature film later on if everything turns out great. So then they agreed. So we got the permits, but we still didn't have a crew. So what happened? All right, so where was I? Oh yeah, we didn't have a crew, but we needed to shoot a movie. So funniest thing happened, okay? Prior to returning to the United States, when I was in Querétaro, I was working on a video clip for one of my songs. And we were in public in the Centro filming. And it so happens that a lady who was there just saw us walking around filming. So when I posted the clip on Instagram, she received that clip because I geotagged it with the city and stuff like that. And she ended up seeing it. And she messaged me like, hey, I saw you guys filming this. This is great. She really liked the song and everything. And I was like, oh, thank you. I didn't think much of it. So while I was working on the script, I made a story post on Instagram asking for if anybody is interested in auditioning for the movie, if anybody knows any DPs or any sound people in Querétaro that can help out with the movie. And funny enough, she works with a production company. So she messaged me like, hey, I actually work with a production company. And I was like, what? That would be amazing. So we set up a call, we had a meeting with the team, and just based on that initial meeting, I knew that I wanted to work with that crew because they were attentive to detail. We were going over like what we might need for the shoot, the gear that we have, and so on and so forth. And it was great. So the production company's name is Radiance, and in Spanish, I guess it's Radiance. And they're amazing. We have Victor, we have Pablo, we have Jerry, and of course, Ori, who's the initial point of contact. And it was just crazy how it came about. So now we have a crew. I'm working on the script. Now it's time to get the actors. Where am I gonna find actors in Mexico to do a movie that is gonna be English and Spanish in Querétaro? Huh. Florida doesn't play about them Gators. All right, so we got the script, we got the crew, we need actors. So in my experience, one of the easiest way to cast for a project is to use Backstage. So Backstage is a digital casting platform where you can find actors, you can find crew members for any film project that you might have. And I've used them in the past before. I've got plenty of actors and actresses from that platform. But this time around, I was casting for a different country, which is Mexico. And I've never done that before. But the process was pretty easy, is the same thing. I even joined local acting Facebook groups in Querétaro to be able to get more auditions. So the casting was really for the lead actress, and one audition stood out to me the most, and that was one from Pia. She ended up getting the part of Alma.
Well, it's not that I don't like tourists. I know some people visiting Mexico have this preconceived idea of what it's like. You know, some think their money's gonna make them work here. Some just wanna get drunk in Cancun. Some come and go.
There were some specific requirements for that role, and she nailed all of them.
Some just want to get drunk in Cancun.
That's true.
Some come and go. But to us, the people of this country, this is our culture, our lives. And we deserve respect.
So she needed to be able to speak English and Spanish. She's supposed to come off as mean and cold and guarded, but also warm, welcoming, and generous. So she knocked it out of the park, and she ended up getting the role of Alma. Now, as far as the lead actor, I needed someone to look like me, so I kind of cheated. I used my twin brother. Hey, he wanted to try his hand at acting, so it was a win-win situation. The movie was based off my experience in that city and how great it was. And I figured, you know what? I can't act. I'd rather direct, I'd rather film. So then I can just have my twin brother do it. So nepotism for the win. All right, so we have actors, crew members, and we have a script. So now, what else are we missing in pre-production? Oh, insurance. Let me tell you all about that one. All right, this is where you get the sponsor for today's video. Just kidding, I don't have no sponsors. But for the insurance, when you're filming, you need to have insurance to cover your ass if something goes wrong on set. There are plenty of insurance companies locally in the United States that, when I did my research, popped up. But I needed one specifically for Mexico. I found a couple, nothing worked out. I just ended up getting like a local medical coverage for the actors and crew members in case something happens on set. And I had my own insurance, like for my camera and things like that, and it covered Mexico, so we used that. So that's how I ended up doing it. In your case, you might have some different requirements for your shoot, so make sure you do your research on the proper insurance to get for your situation. But that's pretty much it for insurance. Just kidding. All right, let me stop messing around. All right, so production, the most chaotic part of the filmmaking process. Let me tell you, even if you plan everything down to the T, something will go wrong. And boy, everything went wrong. All right, so I'm not gonna bore you guys with the details of everything that went wrong, but let's just say transportation. We had transportation for the whole shoot. That fell through the day of production. As a matter of fact, Pia was coming from a different state. The roads were closed, so she could not take the bus there, so she had to fly there the day of the shoot, okay? So catering, we had catering scheduled. Guess what? Fell through. Wardrobe, it wasn't anything complicated, but there were certain clothes that we needed, like a couple of shirts for certain scenes. Guess what? Forgot them. So we had to go to the store and buy some new ones. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's some things here and there, but it wasn't anything where it's like, no, the shoot is ruined. Almost, with those things that I listed, but we made do. And the thing about being a filmmaker is you're a problem solver. So when problems come, you gotta solve them and keep it pushing. We got things moving. This was a 4-day shoot, okay? So anything that would happen that would mess up any of those days would screw us up big time because we only had 4 days to film. So we made it happen though. So yeah. Would I do it again? Yes, absolutely. Filmmaking is a fucking blast. We had a good time filming. Everybody was having fun. We had a makeup artist on set. Her name is Allison. She's great. It was her birthday, so we celebrated that. So everybody was pretty much hands-on and helped out with everything. One of the actors was actually also the clapper loader. We took turn with the boom mic. We took turn camera operating. I operated the camera. Pablo, who's the DP, was the main camera operator. But yeah, so when something happened and somebody needed to pick up the slack, we actually did that. And it was really fun. And through that process, like, we really became like good family. Like, it was great. So yeah, production was awesome. I would definitely do it again. It was an amazing vibe, an amazing experience. Everybody there is so awesome, generous, helpful. It was just a great experience. All right, pre-production. Oh, that sucked. I know you guys are probably wondering, oh, what gear did you use? I'm here to tell you that gear doesn't matter. Just kidding, it definitely does. But not in the way that you might think. So I like being an efficient shooter. I don't like wasting time on set. I don't like moving around big, heavy equipment for no reason. Everything that I use needs to make my job easier. So I kept it simple, lean, and mean. I used the FX30 with the Sirui anamorphic autofocus lens, because I was not gonna use a manual focus lens, absolutely not. It was a 20 millimeter. I used the DJI Mic 2 wireless audio system to get audio wirelessly from a boom mic to the camera. Even though I use internal recording as well, that's on the DJI Mic 2, because it was 32-bit, which gives you more dynamic range for audio. So then I use that and sync that in post, even though I hate syncing in post. But the FX30 does not record 32-bit audio internally. It only does 24-bit, so bummer. And then as far as lighting goes, I use portable lights. I brought some of my portable lights, and my DP Pablo also had some lights that he used. He lives in Querétaro, so we didn't have to log around these big, heavy lights, you know, at the airport. So we used some of his lights. The boom mic, everything that I'm talking about right now, the links are in the description. Yeah, that's about it. Simple and efficient to shoot the movie in just 4 days. All right, so this is a B-roll shot of me just walking, because it's very cinematic according to YouTube rules. So I wonder when people do those like walking away shots for YouTube and social media, are they ever fearful of somebody just grabbing their cameras and run? Good thing is the Osmo Nano. I don't think most people recognize this as like an awesome camera, so I think I'm pretty safe here. All right, so post-production, the worst part of filmmaking, at least to me. I'm a pretty organized person, so I have folders. Everything is like labeled, so I know what's what. But I still hate it. I just hate having to sit there and kind of carve out the final masterpiece, right? But at the same time, I enjoy the process of creating the whole masterpiece. It's weird, but if I could just hire someone to sit there, do all of the busy work of post-production, and I'm sitting there just like nodding along, yep, that's good, yep. I would love to do that. But until I'm rich, post-production, I'm gonna have to be the one that handles that, because I do it now for all my video projects. So why not for short film? Because I've edited a feature film before and many other short films well over 30 minutes. So yeah, it took me like a week or two to get like a draft. And then I sat down with the crew. We watched it together to see what can be fixed and polished. And they had some very constructive feedback, and I went back and I did a revision, and then that was pretty much it. The movie was ready a month after filming because I had time on my hands. It was a beautiful experience. I really enjoy working with this newfound crew in Mexico. I love the city. That's the reason why I wanted to do the movie in the first place. They're really great there, really great people, generous. very nice, helpful, just a great vibe, like great, honest human beings. And now we're actually working on the feature film version of that short film. So we actually had a movie premiere in January, and over 300 people showed up. It was amazing. Everybody was laughing, enjoying the movie. They were having a great time. So it was good to see that all of this hard work that we put in actually paid off. You know, seeing people enjoying what we created was a great feeling. Especially given that I'm not Mexican. I wanted to tell a story about a city in Mexico, and I didn't want to butcher it. I didn't want to come in with my gringo goggles and like start making stuff up. So I'm glad that we worked as a team and we created this beautiful thing and people really enjoyed it. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about the process, if I missed anything, I probably have, because this whole thing was not scripted. So so sorry if I might be all over the place or whatever have you, but if you do have any questions, just put it in the comments. I will try my best to answer. Who am I kidding? I will answer, because anytime you guys have any questions about the camera stuff or the process of things, I always answer, because I like to help out. So yeah, so let me know in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and you found it informative, and if you're ready to shoot a movie in a different country, go for it. So yeah, deuces.